A dying art is holding on in Coon Rapids, offering companies and customers a spectacle no machine can duplicate. We find out how neon signs are made and where they've caught millions of eyes each summer.
If you talk to any of the concessionaires, and if you were to ask them which fair if you had one fair to work across the United States, which would that be? And that would be the Minnesota State Fair.
At the end of every summer, big crowds bring big business at the Great Minnesota Get-Together. Hungry fairgoers searching for a standby snack, sand stick, make cheese curds a hot item with stands spread throughout the grounds.
We call it friendly competition.
To bring in customers to his stand, Mouthtrap Cheese Curds owner David Cavallero knew he had to get noticed.
In our business, the motto "Flash is cash" is standard, and I wanted something that kind of reflected that. I've always liked neon. I thought that was the way to go.
To get that look, he looked to DeMars Signs in Coon Rapids, where neon glassbender Keith Besler has been cooking up signs for nearly 25 years.
We do every kind of sign you can think of, from little door decals to big pylon signs. Pretty much anything you can think of we do, including neon, which is rare.
It's an intricate process that starts with a design and 4-foot sticks of glass tubing. After marking where to bend them, Keith heats them up.
Crossfire is more exact heat. This one, you can adjust for longer heats. Say, so for this next heat I'm gonna do, I can just adjust it to however I want it. It's starting to get a little pliable. And once I can feel it's ready to bend, I'll take it out and then, whoops, blow a little bit of air in it.
Blowing air leaves room for the gas to go inside the tubes.
There's two different gases. There's argon and there's neon. Argon is a bluish gas, kind of like that right there. That's clear, so that's the actual color of the gas. Neon is red.
Other coloring is done through stained glass, painting glass, or by adding phosphor powder inside. He welds his work to tubulation glass hooked up to an air hose and a transformer and adds heat, pressure, and electricity through the glass tube. He keeps that pressure down through a vacuum.
Right now I'm vacuuming out what I just pumped. So then when I get it back down, I'll put a little bit of air back in it so I can get it to strike again. And then now I'm just continue heating it till it reaches about 600 degrees or so. So now I'll fill it. I'll close my vacuum. I'll put enough neon in it. Here's a gauge that I'd go by. Say it's 15 millimeter, so I'd fill it to 10 on my fill gauge. And I'll light it. And then I'll seal it off.
Then he lets it burn in longer to brighten and even out the coloring before completing the light by putting each piece together. Keith says he quickly learned the hazards of working with fire.
When I first started, I guess I would get burns a lot, say like on my arms and stuff, just from, if you're working so fast, you know, it's hard to remember sometimes to stay away from the hot parts.
And when his shift is over, signs remain in sight.
We always kid with everybody else that works here. It's like once you get in the sign business, that's all you notice. Like you're driving around and you're constantly looking at signs.
Keith learned how to make neon signs about 25 years ago from a Minneapolis shop owner who got her start at DeMars.
O's are the hardest for me. I've gotten a lot better at it, but that's the one thing that probably still gives me problems is doing a perfect O. It's just a lot of practice. It's just repetition and it's just getting the feel for the glass.
Keith says he, DeMars Signs, and the entire industry are seeing neon dim over time.
Most of the work I did was putting light neon inside of channel letters, you know, with the faces on them, and that's all gone to LEDs now.
But his work, along with designs and installation from the DeMars team, isn't going unnoticed.
I can only imagine it can't be easy bending the neon. And they are tremendous craftsmen. At the shop, we couldn't quite see it because it was in pieces, but I liked what I saw so far, and it wasn't lit up there, you know, until we brought it out here, and then they installed it, and they had the almost, I think it was kind of like cranes to put it up there, and did a masterful job in securing it. And I think they had it up in 3-4 hours, but once it was lit up, it looked great.
I like that a lot. You know, when you do something that you like and they like, yeah, you know, it makes you feel good, sure.
Cavallero says his sign ensures more than 55,000 pounds of cheese won't stay at his stand for long.
It's an advantage because as they're walking by, you can see it from the outside of the building. I mean, all you got to do is, you know, look take a glance through one of these big open doors, that big beautiful sign catches them. They'll come in and they'll say, well, we saw the sign from the outside, or we were walking around and we were kind of looking for you. Didn't take us long to find you, so the nostalgia look of neon is what I'm trying to go after, and seems to work for me.
To see the neon work or to try those cheese curds, head to the food building during the state fair that runs from August 25th through Labor Day. To get a neon sign made by Keith, call or visit DeMars Signs on 93rd Avenue in Coon Rapids.